I don't know. I'd say I'm reasonable.
Okay, that's completely unreasonable.
I'm reasonable.
I'm unreasonable.
You have no idea just how reasonable I have been.
Reasonable synonyms are sensible, rational, practical, fair, appropriate.
Fitting, suitable, logical.
All things I would definitely say describe me.
Do they describe you?
Welcome to I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson.
I'm reasonable.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson. I am Zainab Johnson. How you guys doing? How are you doing on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday? This beautiful, beautiful Wednesday on September of the 11th. How are you doing? On a scale from the media, yes, tone change quick. On a scale from the media posting the wrong picture of the most recent mass shooting at a school in Georgia. On a scale from their bum ass apologies to 10, how reasonable have you guys been? I could not believe that. So quick to put out a name and a picture of a special needs of an autistic boy who died, who was a victim and died. Yo, so I have had meetings and things with like NPR, New York Times, just like reputable publications or news sources. And as much as I'm not delivering news, right? Like if I'm ever sitting down with them, it's usually to promote something. It's to tell a personal story, right? Even still, the fact checking that they do before they're gonna do anything. They're going to fact check to the point where I was feeling like when they was interviewing me about NPR was interviewing me about my HIJABS off. And I had said something like, oh, my father met when my father converted to Islam when he was in the military, my mother when she was in college, and then they met one another. They wanted to know the years my father was in the military. They wanted to know, like, to the point where I was like, get up out my business. But after seeing that, I have a new appreciation. Yeah, that's very simple. For something catastrophically more large, exponentially more severe. I can't believe it. My hearts go out to that young boy, his family, all of the victims, their families, the educators, their families. The actual shooter and his father currently facing charges, which is very good. Get them up out of here. You got to go. That's how it would be. That's how it would be at outside of every courtroom. If I could make this a career, if they could pay me for it, outside of every courtroom, I would be like, yeah, you got to go. Get them up out of here. Nope, you done. Get them up out of here. Yep, you got to go. Like forget innocent guilt. You got to go. Nope, you can't be around people no more. You can't be with no society. You don't deserve it. Nope, you got to get up out of here. You lost all credibility I was going to say for life, but it's like I don't believe in the death penalty, but you got to get up out of here. You got to get up out of here. Anywho, this week on I'm Reasonable, we're going to discuss a few things, and I'm going to try to get through them quickly. The first thing that we're going to discuss is the debate, of course, because that was last night. And I was on set all day, and then I came home and I ordered some food off of DoorDash, and I put the debate on just so that I was like, do I record the episode last night? But I was like, no, I gotta watch this debate. And I was tired. When I'm done recording this, there'll be a car waiting to pick me up to take me to set. So I see them messages in the comments like, it's feeling like we're going to get it on a reasonable Thursday. You're going to get it Wednesday. Shut up. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. And then we're going to talk about Tiffany Haddish at Fashion Week. And a little tidbit on Kendrick Lamar being the halftime show for Super Bowl 2025. And there was something else that I wanted to discuss. What was it? I'll figure it out. Until then, let's get into my dates, right? So this weekend, Friday and Saturday, I will be in Bloomington, Indiana, September 13th and 14th. This Friday and Saturday, 2 shows each night at Comedy Addict in Bloomington, Indiana. The link to the tickets are in the details of this podcast. So if you're in Bloomington, Indiana or surrounding areas, get those tickets. I will be announcing a Toronto date soon. I have confirmed a Toronto date. I have confirmed Toronto, Canada. I've confirmed it, and I will announce it very soon. So all my people listening in the Ontario area, I'm going to come give y'all some shows, okay? And then October 17th through that's actually wrong. October 18th and 19th. It's only 2 dates. It's Friday and Saturday. October 18th and 19th, I'll be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at Punchline. I'm interested in going there because I believe, last night the debate was in Philly, right? Also, Pennsylvania is a swing state. So I'm going to be interested in going there before the elections just to get a vibe. Like, what y'all doing over here? Although I know Philly is probably the more liberal city of the entire state. October 18th and 19th. October 25th and 26th, I'll be in Detroit, Michigan. November 8th and 9th, I will be in St. Paul, Minneapolis. November 11th, Amsterdam. Netherlands. November 14th, Geneva, Switzerland. Those tickets are not on sale. Amsterdam is on sale now. Geneva tickets are not on sale yet. They will announce soon. November 15th and 16th, France. Now, you guys, I've told you already, both 7 p.m. shows on Friday and Saturday on the 14th and 15th in France, they have sold out. Okay, those shows are sold out. And so we added 2 late shows. On each night, we added a late show, a 9:30 show. Those tickets are selling fast. There will be no more. There's no time in my schedule to add more shows. So if you miss out, then you just miss out. Okay, so get those tickets for Paris, November 15th and 16th. Then November 18th through the 23rd, London, UK. Same deal. London, I will be there for 6 nights. 6 nights doing shows every single night for 6 nights. Now, here's the thing. The Thursday, Friday, Saturday early shows, they're already sold out. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I've added late shows. Again, let me tell you, my flight leaves on the 24th to bring me back to the good old United States of America. There will not be any more shows after that. Unless a prince is going to pay me that $26 million they gave Beyonce to open up that hotel at Dubai, I will not be adding shows. So get your tickets. November 29th through December 1st, I will be in Ontario, California. Then December 4th, Austin, Texas. December 6th through the 8th, Houston, Texas. Everybody is like, how dare you add Austin and Houston and not add Dallas? You missed me. So turn on your notifications, subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to Instagram, subscribe to TikTok, wherever you got to subscribe so that you don't miss me, because I was definitely in Dallas for 4 or 5 sold out shows and we had a time. Dallas, I was mad that I wasn't recording in Dallas. We had a time. Months before that, a very few months before that, I was in Arlington, Texas, which is not far from Dallas. And we had a time. I actually posted clips that have gone viral from that show. So subscribe and turn on your notifications if you don't want to miss me. Then 2025 calendar starting to get dates. January 9th, I will be in wait. Oh my God. See how fast I'm moving? I almost forgot. I will be doing a New Year's Eve show. in San Jose, California, at the San Jose Improv, December 31st. I will be doing a New Year's Eve show at the San Jose Improv, December 31st, San Jose, California. If you are in the Bay Area, if you in Sacramento, if you in San Francisco, everybody always, if you in Fresno, if you in any of the surrounding areas, I know that you might have to drive a little bit, but guess what? When Beyonce came and did the stadium up there, I got on a plane. Booked a hotel, drove in to San Francisco, had a whole day, then drove back towards San Jose or wherever that arena, wherever that stadium is, and enjoyed me some Renaissance, okay? So don't nobody got to be to work the next day. Most of us, let me not say that, most of y'all don't got to be to work on the 1st. So if you in the Bay Area, if you in the surrounding areas, get you and your friends together, pool a Uber, pool a car, get on the train. There's public transportation, get on the train. Let's bring in the new year together, okay? Now, in 2025, Raleigh, North Carolina, January 9th, January 16th through the 18th, Washington, D.C., February 21st through the 23rd, Chicago, and I will keep letting you guys know as I add dates. Right now, go ahead, like I said, like, share, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now. Now, what is up with Z? All right, I'm going to try and go through this quick. Last week, so you guys know I did a crowd work show. I did a crowd work show on August 16th. It was 2 days before I flew to Vancouver to start filming. Upload, watch it if you haven't. And that show was unrehearsed. I didn't know what would happen or could happen. It was a challenge for me going into it because if you've ever seen me perform, I have material. I do really good crowd work if I'm put in a position to have to. But I also write jokes. I come like prepared, right? If I'm in your city and y'all want to fuck around, I'll fuck around with you. You know what I'm saying? On stage. Let me be specific. On stage, I'll fuck around with you. Anybody that has seen me live knows, like, oh no, she'll play all day if that's what you make her do. But I also come with pre-written material that I am trying to. The reason why comedians tour, aside from having to provide a way of living for ourselves, a reason why we tour is because we are testing. You see us performing, but we are good comedians. Are not just there to entertain you. We're really there in service of trying to get the best possible material we can. And just like an athlete who has to go to practice and then they play a game, that's what the shows are like for us. Every show is the practice, right? But here's the thing. When LeBron is practicing, he's not shooting. Do you get what I'm saying? He's not doing the drills to the best of his ability. He's he's doing all the things that you see him do in the game. That's why he's able to do them in the game. So when I'm on the road, I am practicing in the hopes of creating something that is so undeniable that I can then tape it and it can speak for me when I'm dead and gone. That's so on the 16th of August, I did a crowd work show. It's all improv. It's nothing planned, nothing written. I only used whatever the crowd gave me. That's why it's called crowd work, right? And I've been posting some clips just to promote that I'm going to put out the entire hour of that crowd work show next week, that the entire hour of that crowd work show will be released via YouTube September 17th. Okay. So like, share, all of that type of stuff, right? Go crazy for it, comment, all of that good stuff. But I've been posting like clips just to give you guys a little taste of it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's the equivalent of trailers, right? So there's this one clip that involves a person in a crowd in the front row, and he has a notebook open and he's taking notes. Matter of fact, here's the clip. Keep forgetting at the top of the show. At the top of the show, you ain't turned your, who is it? What was it? An alarm, you gotta take your medicine, just. And everybody knows what that means. Yeah. Do you have a notebook? Are you taking notes of what I'm saying? Do you work for a publication? You're just a comedian, and you came to the show and sat in the front. And when you're a comedian, and you see somebody in the front with taking. It's like there's 3 terrible things that could happen. The cell phone already did, right? Some violent person could come in here with a firearm. That would be absolutely awful, right? And some other comedian could be sitting in the front row, writing your material down. And so what frightens me tonight is that 2 of the 3 things have happened. So I got an email, I got a DM actually from that person, and he expressed his concern. And he expressed his concern. I'm not going to read it because this is not like I got the receipts. It's really not about that. But he expressed his concern because in the comments, everybody was like, oh, this is wild. Like, how dare he, the audacity, which is really true, actually. The audacity of you, regardless of your intentions. Regardless of your intentions, if your intentions were pure, if your intentions were innocent, it's still audacious. It still shows that you either, I hate to give you the Ice Cube quote from Boys in the Hood, you either don't know, don't show, or don't care. Because he called himself a comedian. And I'm not saying that to throw shots at him, but every comedian knows. You don't, I said it. That's the reason why I didn't curse him out. That's not even my way. But I said, listen, there's a category of the worst possible things that can happen at your show. And you've done something that's very high on the list. The only things that come beyond what you're doing, sitting in the front, taking notes while a comedian is on stage, only things worse than that are things that are violent. I put the cell phone in there because I'm using, like I said, what the crowd gave me, right? And every comedian, if you're a comedian up there, when some outside force steps on your punchline, I remember when we was doing shows outside during the pandemic, and you do all of this work to set the groundwork for these strangers to understand the joke, the joke that you're about to give them, understand you. And then right when you drop that punchline that you worked so hard for, then a freaking fire truck rolls by. These are scenarios, which is why a comedy club is a controlled environment, or at least it tries to be. That's why the ceilings are low. It's lit, you know what I'm saying? It's lit a certain way. The room is dark, but the stage is lit for the most part. This ain't by accident. This is all by design. So you chose to sit in the front row with a notebook. That's wild. So yeah, in the comments, it might have hurt your feelings, but it's also the truth. And so here's the thing. I'm saying this to you guys. I didn't say that to him. I said, oh, don't even worry about the comment. You know, the comments gonna comment. Don't worry about the comments. I said, but I want you to be mindful because, you know, I brush a lot of stuff off, but I also don't like for a lesson to be missed. I don't like for it to go unknown like grace was shown. And so I said, listen, the comments going to comment. Don't even worry. I would, especially if you're a comedian, I would take this as a lesson today. Don't really let the comments affect you. You let the comments affect you, then you're not going to last very long, you know? So I said, don't let the comments. I said, don't even pay attention to the comments. I said, but, you know, I said, just understand, though, that I showed you a lot of grace. Just understand this other comedians, if you did that at another comedian's show, fill in the blank, whoever the comedian you think it is. If you did that at another comedian's show, it would have been the comment section in real life. All those comments saying, oh, no, I'd have beat his ass, or I'd have, you know what I'm saying? We ought to, the way to have him escorted out. All of that, all of what you're feeling by way of the comments, you ain't tagged in the video. Don't nobody know who you are. Nothing, right? It's a crowd work show. The moment you walk in, you are agreeing to, it's a filmed crowd work show. The moment you walk in, it's plastered everywhere. You are agreeing to be on camera. So you had the goal to be on camera, sit in the front. There was places in the back. So you wanted to be a part of the show. Now you got to own that. But just know, I was nice. I think people don't be realizing how, even when I do crowd work, people don't realize how nice I am as a comedian. I ain't going to tell you, it's the last thing I'm going to do is tear somebody in the audience apart. I'm going to try and find some way to be funny without tearing a person down. I'm going to try. Even if they're being extremely nasty to me. It's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you being nasty to me, but it's hundreds of people here to see me. So I'm going to rest on that. I'm going to find comfort in that. So that's how I responded to him, right? I said, don't even worry about it. But, you know, also just, I don't want you to not realize that I showed you a lot of grace. In what could have been a really, especially if a comedian knows that they're taping, that could have been prompt. He lucky he wasn't at a Matt Rife show. Like you're lucky you weren't at a. It's the reason why Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, why they have people lock up their phones. A protection of what's happening in the room, a protection of their material. Anywho. You know, that's the thing about responding to DMs. Even when you nice, you think that's going to be the end of it. And I need to learn. This is my lesson. That's the thing about being nice. You give an inch and people take a mile. That really is the curse of empathy. He sent me another message, long. Putting the burden on me. Saying all of the things. I understand and but I understand and I know, but I just think as a comedian, you can't just think as a comedian, because if you were just thinking as a comedian, you would have never showed up to anybody's show with a notebook. If you ain't the LA Times and my people ain't let me know, hey, a journalist from the LA Times is going to be at the show. So if they got a notebook, just no. And I was about to respond. And then I realized that in my response, I was going to get nasty. And not nasty in my language, but like it hit me. What I've been saying this entire time. Wait a second. This guy is trying to make it my fault that he showed up with a notebook. He ain't trying to take no responsibility for. Here's the thing. If you never showed up with the notebook, it would have never been a video and people would never be in the comments. So while you don't like it, see, this was going to be, and I just chose not to respond. Somebody who I was talking to while this was happening, like, you know, was like, oh, you should just give a thumbs up. And I was like, no, I'm gonna just leave it on red. So I ask you guys, was it reasonable or unreasonable for me to not respond? To just leave it? It's like, I can't fix you. Whatever you worried about, that's good. You learned the lesson early. First of all, don't nobody know you. And if you continue down if you continue, because you try to make something my fault. One of the most beautiful things about comedians that you might not know, like love us or not, is I keep stipulating the good ones, right? We got a heightened level of awareness. We're processing all the time. We're processing and thinking while we're talking, we're handling. You don't really understand especially if you're a comic like me that has stuff that you planned, but you veer off the road often, and you got to get back to, like, it's such a complex thing that we make look very simple. That clip I made, that looked like I wrote that. That looked like we planned that. And it wasn't, I couldn't, when I woke up that morning, the morning of August 16th, if someone would like, so what you think is going to happen at the show? There's certain things I could have predicted, which does happen. Somebody's going to ask me about Palestine. Somebody's going to ask me about that. There's certain things that I can predict. I could have never predicted somebody was going to be in the front row of my show with a notebook taking notes. So that's you got to own that. Wherever you are, if you ever see this, you have to own that and whatever comes of that. And the quicker you own it, the quicker you get past it. Who care what they saying in the comments? You could be absolutely perfect, doing nothing wrong, and there's still a couple of comments like, boo, whack, you stupid, you wrong, I'm out of here, disgusting. And you could be absolute perfection. And the comments going to try and knock you down. So let me know if y'all thought I was unreasonable for just bowing out the conversation. All right, these main topics. The debate. We ain't need no audience, right? I wonder, now that we don't have an audience at the debates, I wonder why we ever had audiences at the debates. I guess that's for the audience, right? For just people there, they want to see it. But yeah, it's like, for what? For the camera to cut to and we see a reaction shot? I don't need nobody else to tell me how I feel about what I'm seeing. So Trump won the coin toss, which means that at the end, like they get like 2 minutes or something at the end, maybe 90 seconds or something, like their closing argument, their closing like speech or whatever to the American people, to the voters. And so Trump got his, he was able to have the last word, but it wasn't worth nothing. And I don't even say that like as a non-Trump fan. It's just a fact. What I'm going to say about this debate, and I'm going to keep it quick, this is not even about who I like and who I don't like. It's just actual facts. One, we have to give a round of applause to the moderators. The moderators of these ABC News journalists. Let me tell you, the way I felt like their questions were very fair. I did feel like at some point they just let the mics go. They was just like, you know what? We ain't going to keep the mics off. You know what I'm saying? like, we ain't got no audience and okay, let's just turn the mics on. You know what I'm saying? But I think they kept it like very civilized, but the way they was fact checking, and they asked Kamala tough questions, some that she danced around. First question, right out the gate. Economy. You think the economy is better? That's a question that services Donald Trump. You think the economy is better 4 years ago? And here Kamala go, I was raised in to a middle class. And at first, I was thinking, girl, I do not care about your childhood no more. I don't care about your father from Jamaica and your mom. And I don't care about that story no more. And then I had to remember, so many people don't know her. This is her opportunity to introduce herself. And so while me, who's somebody who has been aware of her since she was running in the primaries in 2020, I'm like, girl, I know the story, but then I had to just sit back and relax. Like, oh, I know the story, but there's a lot of people that don't. And it's important for them to know who she is and where she comes from, right? First of all, whoever did Trump's tan, whoever did Donald J. Trump's tan, Donald Trump was out there darker than Kamala. He said, they want Indian, I'll give them Indian. They want Jamaican, I'll give them Jamaican. Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. They want black, I'll go Steph Curry, black, a little toastier than Steph, but nothing else. Y'all know I can't do Trump. Why was that man out there 3 shades darker than Kamala? He said, he's laying a tanning bed. Was that the rub-on tan, the spray tan? What color was it? You know what he said? Give me the Martha's Vineyard. Then he started talking something about, so a strong point for him to hit on is immigration, right? A strong point for him to hit on is immigration. And what bugs me when he talks about immigration, first of all, he just be lying, right? He don't really know what he be talking about. But he said immigrants are taking African American and Latin jobs. And he keeps saying that. And I'm just like, here's the thing. I'm not delusional, you guys. I am optimistic, but I'm not naive, really, right? And so I do know that socioeconomically, it is more likely, especially in certain places. I see it all the time, where the more subservient jobs, the more lower paying jobs are filled by people of color, right? Even sometimes when I do corporate events, it's like, oh, wow, this is a company that employ 700 people of color, but they're all in these lower positions. The people that are in these higher positions, they all look the same. White man, occasionally a white woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it looks the same. So the fact that he says, I actually do know. It's like, that is how he sees us. That's it. That's it. Like, yeah, there's some exceptions to the rule, but no, these are the jobs in this country for you. That's it. That's it. And you should want to work on keeping your job, where I think the better messaging, because here's the thing, you don't have to message reality, right? Reality is what it is. But I think better messaging is the aspiration for something more, right? Like, yeah, my parents did great with us. And I hope that my siblings that are parents, and if I ever become a parent, I hope to do better. I hope to take everything good that my parents did and add better on top of that. Here's where he messed up, or rather Kamala did well. He got one thing off. And I know inside he felt good when he was like, I'm speaking. Yeah. That sounds familiar. Cause you know that clip of her, you know what I'm saying? When they tried to interrupt her in the Senate and she said she speak, that clip was making its rounds again. Right. And so I know he was like, watch. I'm gonna. He tried to 8 Mile it. He said, I'm gonna call her own callback back. I don't know why I make Trump sound a little bit like Michael Jackson. I'm gonna call her own callback back. I don't know what is wrong with me. But here's where she really got him, and he fell for it. And first of all, you know, Kamala, she deep swallows. And I think that's just her buying time to get her thoughts together. She deep swallows. I don't think she needs to pause. I don't know why I paused. But just because I know the perverts out there. She deep swallows. She'll be like, and I think America should have. And I know it's just to make sure that her brain and her, like, I know that it's a tactic. I know that she don't got like a dry throat. And I know that she's in a situation that could give you a dry throat. When I'm nervous at a show or something like that, or doing a TV taping, the way the mouth turns to cotton instantly, you like, I done drank 92 gallons of water, 450 liters of water, because I'm in Canada. Why is my mouth feeling like I got Elmer's glue in it? That the nerves, the body, let me tell you, the brain and the emotions, what it does, how it responds physically. So she's in a situation to, have a exaggerated throat swallow, But I know that it's a tactic. I know that it is just her making sure that her brain and her mouth are at the same pace. Does that make sense? Anywho, listen, when she said, and he's his crowd sizes are not big. You would have thought she said he got a small pee-pee, like he got a small penis. Cause he gets so offended by that. He couldn't even talk about the actual question. It was, wait, let me go back to my crowd sizes. My crowd sizes are not small. I have the biggest crowd sizes of any president in the history of presidency. You can't take the bait, Trump. You cannot take the bait. She's being like eloquently petty. She's being eloquently petty, and you are falling flat on your face. I will say, and this is a compliment to Kamala, that once she got going, she knows how to speak specifically. She knows how to answer the question if she can, if she knows it's going to benefit her. And I know people are like, see, I don't like that. Whatever. She's going to answer the question poignantly, and then she is going to drop back in the messaging that she knows that she's there to deliver. Where Trump, he has too many generals, too much ambiguity, too much like, I heard somewhere, they said, I don't know, but I know, but I think, I don't know, but they said, it's too, who are they and that? Trump, the most they saying person I ever. Where Kamala is like, Trump and your Supreme Court justices and your running mate, it's very specific. He's like, they, them, I don't know who, they, and somebody said it, and I heard it, because I have ears. They tried to shoot it off, but they couldn't. It's like, let me tell you when was the mic drop for me, and he keeps doing this. There was a few mic drop moments for me. Some of them didn't even come from the candidates. Some of them came from the moderators. So, of course, Kamala's going to shine when she's talking about women's reproductive rights, right? Abortion, IVF, whatever, the whole scope of it, right? And Trump, he's been back and forth. I really don't think like him specifically, I don't think he cares about what women do with their bodies. As long as their bodies look good, I don't think he cares. But he gotta clean up the mess that his running mate JD Vance made, right? And so he says he keeps saying this. He said that last time. He said that, remember in the debate with Biden, and Biden was like, when I'm president, I'll bring back Roe versus Wade. I did that whole joke. Joe, you president now. How you let it get away? You know, Trump said they want to do 9-month, 10-month abortions. They want the baby to get here and then abort the baby. It's like, I didn't understand. I don't think I was wondering in the first debate, like with Biden, like, does he know what he's saying? First of all, you're no longer talking about an abortion. You're talking about homicide. And so if that is the truth, then just say that. But you can't even say that because it's ridiculous. Ain't nobody saying that. No politician, whether you like them or not. No one's saying, we'll let the baby get here and then you could decide if you want to kill it. Nobody is talking that late of a term. You know what? Like that. So the moderator, she said, right after he finished that, she said, there is no state in this country where it is legal for a baby to be aborted after it's born. She didn't even skip a beat. She said it deadpan. There was no emotion. It's like it was just like right after she said, and there is no state in this country that allows, and then she went on to the next question. It's like, I really, really appreciated the way they fact checked. I really, really appreciated it. I think my favorite part from Kamala, and this ain't got nothing to do with policy. This ain't got nothing to do with answering many of the questions that we would like to know. I think at some point when Donald Trump was losing it, she laughed and said, what an extreme. I said, oh, now she playing in his face. I don't know what's going to happen come November. But today, she's playing in his face. What an extreme, right? This guy's crazy. The worst thing that Trump said, worst, absolute worst. I mean, he said some ridiculous, he was going crazy, right? He was really losing it. It was like, cause it wasn't like the unhinged, like he didn't start unhinged, but she did a good job of like, okay, I got to, even if I don't come out really, really strong with my record, and if I'm not completely agreeable with my policies and where I stand, at least I know my mission is to make him look unhinged. And she accomplished that. Because when he said she doesn't like Israel, she just said that she believes in the right to for Israel to defend itself. You know what I like? This is a little bit of a caveat. I really liked, because I'm not really quick to say that, although I get it. But she said, I stand with, no, I will always believe in Israel's right to defend itself. And she didn't say did she say from Hamas or Iran? Whatever. It was this one line where she said, and we would want that here. And I think about that a lot as I travel, like how fortunate I have to remember I have it, even as dire as sometimes it seems, being a citizen of the United States. And like, I watch movies about terrorism sometimes. And like, I remember when I watched, what was it? Not John Reacher, Jack Ryan on Amazon. And what I loved about that show was, damn, did I have that apple on my mouth the whole time? What I loved about that show, the first season, was, besides seeing like John Krasinski in a like drastically different character, what I really liked about that show was that they showed kind of like the perspective of the quote unquote terrorist, and it was a response. It was like, yeah, if you feel like your country and you've lost the lives of your loved ones because some other country's military or whatever has come in and just then yeah, you're going to have reason to retaliate, right? Which sucks. So now when you retaliate, that's how we lose. There's going to be lives of people lost that have nothing to do with anything. And their families are going to grieve them. But now we got to respond too, right? And it's this constant cycle, you know, of like, sorry, I'm not saying anything. And so I just think that sometimes that is forgotten. Like, yeah, if the first, I don't want to get into the conspiracies of 9/11, although it is September 11th. This would have been the perfect episode to whatever. I was actually downtown that day and experienced it. But years before that, when I was a much smaller kid, my grandmother worked at the World Trade. She worked in one of the towers, and when Biggie sings about, you know, blow up like the World Trade, and I remember seeing that on the news, and all we could do was wait for my grandmother to get home. And when my grandmother got home, it was like, you know what I'm saying? But I can just imagine, like, oh, if my grandmother was hurt or killed in that, I don't know if I'd be reasonable enough to be like, I mean, but we have been going over the countries and effing stuff up. So, you know, that's what we get, and just happened to be my grandmother. Like, I don't know if I'd have that. I don't know if I'd get there immediately, if I would able to get to that resolve immediately or ever. Anywho, he says she hates Israel. She hates Iran. He didn't know what to say. He's like, what do y'all want? What is going to get y'all to hate this woman? Like, I hate her. I hate her. How dare she say my crowd sizes are small? How dare she? I hate her. She's letting billions and trillions and billions and trillions of killers in. They're in Ohio. They're in Colorado. They're eating the people's dogs. When he said that, I said, oh, okay, damn. I know his script writers. I know the people that prepped him. They was just in the back throwing their hands up. And then then the other moderator was like, nope, it's been checked. We also talked to the city regulator or whoever there, and they were like, no, that's a myth. It's not happening. There are no immigrants here just eating people's house pets. And he doubled down on it. They're eating the dogs or the cats. They're eating them. They told me, they. She hates Israel. She hates Iran. Talk about undemocratic. He got now he campaigning for Biden. The same person he want to get out of here. I guess this does sound like I don't like Trump. Okay, I've clearly taken the side. He campaigning for Biden. He said that man has got 14 million votes and they kicked him out. And they kicked him out. And he hates her. He won't say it. They told me. Who is these? He hates her. At this point, Kamala, you could just see in her face, she knows she got him. She knows she got him. She know, because what we know, Biden don't hate no Kamala. Anywho. Last thing, because I've realized that I've talked too long about this. It was the Rich Homie Quan. Oh my God, I don't have time for this. Okay, really quick. We can't do an Ask Z today. I'm so sorry. We can't do an Ask Z. I don't have the time. My driver is going to be here in 7 minutes and I'm going to finish this and go downstairs late. So forgive me. We can't do an Ask Z today. Last thing about the debate. They asked him about Obamacare. They said, if you're president again, what you going to do with the health care? And he was like, I don't have a plan yet. They said, do you have a plan? I don't have a plan yet. I'm not president. When he said, I don't have a plan yet, I'm not president, as if the job, as if you get to start ideating once you get there. Okay, that's it, y'all, for the debate. Tiffany Haddish at Fashion Week. Make this really quick. If you don't know what happened with Tiffany Haddish at Fashion Week, let me tell you something. I didn't even see that video first. I just saw on sometimes TikTok will let me know what I got to go seek out in the news cycle. I opened up my TikTok and every black girl that came across my scroll was talking about Tiffany Haddish and what she did at New York Fashion Week. And they was calling her all types of, ghetto, coon, everything, right? And there's always, first of all, let me just say this. I know Tiffany personally. And so I am going to speak very carefully because I can't come to the public with something and haven't gone privately to someone that I have access to privately. But I'm just going to say this really, really I'm going to talk about the optics of it, right? I don't know what Tiffany was thinking, what was in her heart, but I'm just going to talk about the optics of it, right? When I saw all the black girls on TikTok going in on Tiffany, normally I'd be like, come on, y'all, but don't. But I was like, I'll allow it because for the past month, the way the white girls been going in on Blake Lively. Let me tell you what, I did not know nothing about Blake Lively, but now I know because every white girl, and this is what I love about, I don't like nothing on TikTok because I don't want my algorithm to be preferential. I want you to show me everything. And for the past month, they've been showing me nothing but white girls going in on Blake Lively. And I said, you know what? This is equality. I did not like the video. It just looks like they're laughing at Tiffany, but I also don't care about that. That could not have been the case. Tiffany might have done that. Let's say that. Let's say, because that's the part that people got a big problem with, right? Like, oh, these two, Paris Hilton and the other lady, whoever that is, y'all know who that is. I don't know who that white lady is. Anyway, I think she's another Hill. I don't even care. I don't care. Y'all, I don't care. the way they laughing and kind of egged her on, it seemed almost like peer pressure, right? And it seemed like peer pressure at Tiffany's expense. Here's my only problem with it, right? If I remove them and just say Tiffany being her, beautiful, dynamic, entertaining self, her silly self, her not taking things too seriously, her always, you know what I'm saying, trying to find joy and be joyful and all of that. If I just say, Tiffany was just being silly, and she was like, you know what, I feel good, I'm looking good, I'm gonna walk in this show, right? When she turned the corner, she kind of almost, she didn't, it wasn't like, a colossal, but it was clearly a disruption for the models that were already walking. And I think if nothing else, at the very least, it's like a lack of decorum, right? And I don't mean we black or we're people of color, we're women, and so we have to behave a certain way. No. When I go to the movies, the expectation is that I'm going to watch the movie reasonably quiet because there's other people watching the movie with me, right? When I get on a roller coaster, the expectation is that people are going to be screaming because it's a thrill-seeking ride, right? And so if I'm on a roller coaster and somebody is screaming, I'm not going to be like, damn, fuck you screaming for? You scared? Actually, I'm terrified. That's a reasonable expectation. It is a reasonable expectation for someone in the audience at a fashion show to remain in the audience. That is a very reasonable expectation. And because Tiffany did not remain in the audience, that was an unreasonable choice that she made, regardless of why she made that choice. Kendrick Lamar doing the Super Bowl. I love Kendrick Lamar. I also love Lil Wayne. I think it's great to see both of them. So if you don't know, it was announced a few days ago that Kendrick will be the headliner for Super Bowl 2025. And a lot of people really wanted it to be like Wayne and Lil Wayne and Friends, because Lil Wayne is from New Orleans. Super Bowl next year will be played in New Orleans. And here's the thing. I'm a fan of both of them. Before I ever knew of a Kendrick Lamar, Lil Wayne was my favorite rapper. I listen to Lil Wayne. I don't know if I've said this on this podcast or my previous podcast, but I always say when I am going through a breakup, when I am feeling emotionally low, I'm not the type of person that listens to Mary J. Blige or SZA or Jhené Aiko or Jasmine Sullivan or Beyonce. I'm not that. I go to Lil Wayne. I go to Little Wayne Carter. And I listen to him because his music is it's always going to have a certain rhythm, and it's so egotistical. I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And when I'm feeling my lowest, I don't got time to be down there like, right, y'all, we feeling low. I can't believe it. I'm heartbroken. No. I need Lil Wayne to tell me I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. So high up, I'm in a condo in Toronto with the pigeons. Whatever he be saying, I need that. I need a million, because I need $1 million. Right now, I don't got no money. I can't live in that. I need a million. So Lil Wayne has always been a fixture in my playlist. So and I love Kendrick. I'd be happy with either one. Kendrick had a really good year this past year. It makes all of the sense. But I would just like to point out, I think because last year's Super Bowl in LA, or this past year's Super Bowl in LA, because they did kind of like a LA themed performance, I think now there's an expectation that every Super Bowl halftime show has to feature the artist that is most prevalent in that city. And I think that that's the unrealistic expectation. I think that we should want Lil Wayne to perform whether the Super Bowl is in North Dakota or New Orleans or San Francisco. I think there should be a reasonable expectation to see Lil Wayne on that stage. I also get but it would have been dope. It would have been so dope for the fans and the city for Lil Wayne to be on that stage while the Super Bowl is played. But here's the thing. Y'all got to look at the population of the city of New Orleans. Look at the population of the whole state of Louisiana. The people watching the Super Bowl and the halftime show, it's a much bigger audience than one state, one city. So, lastly, Rich Homie Quan. Rich Homie Quan passed away a few days ago. I believe the cause of death was a drug overdose. I got a video. If I find it, I'll share it with you guys. When I was performing in Abu Dhabi for the first time, and I got on stage to Rich Homie Quan. At that time early in my stand-up career, that whatever year that song came out, anytime I got up on stage and they'd be like, "Oh, what song you want?" I would be like, Rich Homie Quan. Ooh 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 ooh. When right. Unfortunately, he passed. He has 2 children. And the mother of his 2 children, he was in a relationship with, maybe on and off. I don't know how inconsistently or consistently. But another woman, I'll post a picture. Maybe, I don't know who it was. Like a rap artist. She posted some stuff to honor him on social media and was like, you know, like, you'll be missed, and you were all of these great things, and we shared these great things. And there was a hint of intimacy there, a hint of like, oh, was y'all dealing with each other? And everybody had a problem with it. And let me just tell you something. Just because somebody dies does not mean that a fact isn't a fact. I'm going to be very honest with y'all. If just because your granddaddy died don't mean he was not a cheater. And if every woman that he cheated with and had a baby with, if every other family want to show up at the funeral, guess what? They can come to the funeral. This whole thing of like, oh, and how, and being thirsty and disrespectful. You're trying to burden me with his choices. Ain't nobody trying to take anything away from you, but also this was my experience with this person. And I have the right to grieve. Yeah, you might not like it. Oh, well. But I got the right to grieve. And here's the thing. You mad because he was kissing me on my forehead? Guess what? Back to the notebook. Back to him taking notes. He was kissing me on my forehead. This ain't AI generated. I didn't get somebody to fabricate something in an attempt to take away from your grief. Nah, we shared stuff. He was kissing me on my forehead and my neck, and I got video of it. And guess what? I'm distraught because he's dead. And I can share it. All it is grace. And disrespect shown towards me. If somebody mean, an awful person, and then when they die, you're like, don't say it. You know, no, I can say it. And here's the thing: just because somebody was mean to, it's like twofold, right? So like, if somebody is mean to me, somebody was an awful person, they abused me, they took advantage of me, all of those things in my life, right? And that is my truth. I get to share that when they pass. Anybody want to share some words? I get to go and look and make sure they in the ground. I get to do that. But here's the thing. If they was terrible to me and they wasn't terrible to you, I also don't have to try to tarnish the fact that they wasn't, that you look at them in a good way. What Jay-Z said, what you eat don't make me shit. All right, you guys, I gotta go. Damn, 10:05. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. They usually give me like a 5-minute grace period. So thank you so much for listening to another episode of I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson. You guys stay reasonable out there, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.